The Mello TV Evening News at 8 is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Coronavirus is in Jamaica, and I know you feel scared and worried. But you can't let COVID-19 divide us. Coronavirus infects all kinds of people. It doesn't discriminate. So why should you? When someone coughs or sneezes or shows signs of the virus, tell them to call 888-1-LOVE immediately. And remember, stay 3 feet away, but don't attack or disrespect them, because we're all in this thing together. Come on, Jamaica, cut the hate and don't discriminate. Let us stand together and fight COVID-19 as one family, one nation.
Good evening. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has announced 11 more COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, taking the total of infected persons to 853. The latest cases consist of 7 women and 4 men ranging in age from 22 to 68 years. There have been 714 recoveries from COVID-19 to date. Still making news tonight, the police have launched a manhunt for a prisoner that escaped from custody at the Kingston Public Hospital yesterday. He is 38-year-old Clifton Craig, labourer of 7 Miles Bull Bay, St. Andrew. Reports coming into our news centre from the Denham Town Police are that between 4 and 4:20 a.m., while carrying out checks, it was discovered that Craig was missing from the hospital. Craig was in custody for wounding with intent and was at the facility for medical treatment. In the meantime, the police are asking anyone with information that can assist to recapture Clifton Craig to contact the Denham Town Police at 876-948-6443, Crime Stop at 311, Police 119 Emergency, or the nearest police station. Citizens are being reminded that it is an offence to harbour fugitives. In news from St. James, the police there are still investigating the murder of 57-year-old Stephen McPherson, who was fatally shot by armed men while attempting to stop them from abducting his daughter in the community of Bogue Heights in the parish last Wednesday. According to reports, shortly after 4:30 p.m., McPherson's 23-year-old daughter exited a taxi in the community and was walking home when men traveling in a Voxy bus and a Toyota motor vehicle pulled up alongside her. The men began making sexual advances towards her, but she ignored them and kept on walking. While approaching her house, the men used their vehicles to block her path and demanded that she enter the vehicles. Upon approaching his house, McPherson realized that his daughter was being harassed. He drove his vehicle towards the men in an apparent bid to rescue his daughter. However, before he was able to exit his vehicle, one of the men opened fire, hitting him in the face. During the commotion, his daughter managed to escape, while the attackers jumped into their vehicles and fled the scene. McPherson was rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Still in St. James, police officers there seized 4 firearms, an M16 rifle, 3 pistols, and 117 rounds of ammunition during a search operation conducted in the Norwood and Angie Lane communities earlier today. Now, during the early morning operation, several houses and vehicles were searched where the illegal weapons and ammunition were found in the Angie Lane community. 1 Glock pistol, 2 Taurus 9mm pistols, an M16 rifle, 45 5.56 rounds and 72 9mm rounds of ammunition were seized. The weapons are theorized to be linked to the G-City gang operating from that community. About 1 week prior to this morning's operation, the police intercepted members of the notorious Sparta gang and seized 2 Glock 34 pistols with a quantity of ammunition. 2 persons were detained in connection with that seizure. In news from Ocho Rios, the police there are investigating the death of a fisherman whose body was found at a facility along the coast yesterday. He has been identified as 68-year-old David Johnson of Oracabessa, St. Mary. Reports coming into our news center are that at about 1 p.m., a police team was called to a business place in the area where the body was found. The police officers that responded found the body face down in the water, along with items believed to be swimming gear. Detectives are encouraging persons that might be able to assist in their probe to contact them at 876-974-2533, Police 119 Emergency, or the nearest police station. Still making news tonight, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, says it is still investigating the death of a police corporal who died after collapsing in Maypen, Clarendon on Friday. The deceased has been identified as 41-year-old Corporal Dwayne Wright, who resided in Yorktown in the parish and was assigned to the Maypen police station. He was a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force since the age of 18. It is reported that on Thursday, Corporal Wright complained to relatives of feeling ill and was taken to the hospital for medical treatment. Upon his return, he collapsed and was rushed back to see the doctor, where he was pronounced dead. In other news tonight, Prime Minister Andrew Holness and opposition leader and president of the People's National Party, PNP, expressed their condolences following the passing of former Prime Minister of Barbados, Owen Arthur. Arthur died at the age of 70 at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Barbados this morning. In expressing his condolences to the family of Arthur and the people of Barbados, Prime Minister Holness said he is saddened by his passing and further acknowledged his contribution to the political scene in the region. Meanwhile, opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips also expressed his condolences. He described Arthur as one of the special leaders that the Caribbean has produced and said the region is stronger because of his statesmanship. Continuing with the news tonight, Prime Minister Andrew Holness continues to implore Jamaicans to remain vigilant in observing the COVID-19 safety measures, including the wearing of masks and maintaining social distancing. The Prime Minister, who was addressing the opening of the Port Antonio Police Station and Portland Divisional Headquarters on Friday, noted that a number of persons have not been complying with the social distancing protocol. The Prime Minister further advised the public that, quote, if you are ill with flu-like symptoms, with respiratory symptoms, if you are coughing, sneezing, sniffling, stay at home, end quote. In other news tonight, small and medium-sized enterprises in the tourism and agriculture sectors are set to benefit from grants of up to $500,000 through the second phase of the Rural Economic Development Initiative, Ready To. Managing Director at JCF, Omar Sweeney, says that entities will become eligible for the grants on the basis of responding to a call for proposals. Mr. Sweeney further outlined that they will be sensitizing the different parishes through the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, and the Tourism Product Development Company, TPDCO, to let persons know the different types of projects and proposals that they can submit. The call for proposals is to outline the standard eligibility and priority criteria. Sweeney says once the call is issued, persons are expected to submit their applications for evaluation and to also propose the level of funding they would like to receive. Entities applying for a grant must be registered with the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies or the Companies Office of Jamaica. If for any reason infrastructural development is required, ownership of the property or at least a 20-year lease is also required. As we continue with the news, starting today, schools will be provided with a grant of $1 million each in preparation for reopening in September under new measures to reduce the spread of the coronavirus, COVID-19. The Ministry of Education announced during a Zoom meeting for parents on Saturday that that the funds will be placed in schools' accounts as at today, and added that schools will receive more funds if additional teachers and furniture are required. The ministry also stated that 411 of the country's 900 public schools will be operating normally come September. Some will be expected to rotate students or extend the day, and this approach will be comprised of face-to-face teaching, online sessions, and television programs, while tablets will be provided to students on the PATH program in addition to the grants. Still making news tonight, reggae icon Buju Banton, whose given name is Mark Myrie, won the 2020 Jamaica Festival Song Competition last night with his entry, I Am a Jamaican. Papa Michigan's Jamaica Dance was second, while the only female finalist, Sakina Deer, was placed third with her entry entitled We Are Jamaica. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Olivia Grange says she is satisfied to see the renewed interest, enthusiasm and display of patriotism, and also stated that this success has provided Jamaica with a perfect springboard to soar to even greater heights. The competition was staged as a virtual event because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The Grammy winner is donating his cash prize of $3 million to the Sunbeam Boys Home. And those were the stories making news. I return with a recap. We'll now take a break and then join Christopher Scott